Welcome back to the podcast, y'all. Where self-improvement is the movement, man. Back here with another podcast episode. This is going to more than likely be episode 3 if I don't flip things around. So this is going to be episode 3 of the Be a One of One podcast. How y'all feeling today, man? I'll tell y'all how I'm feeling right now. Kind of relieved. Before I hopped on the air, I was actually in a mad scramble to look for my wallet, and we got that all squared away now. I found it and everything. Well, I haven't technically found it. It's in a good spot in the lost and found at the gym I work at. So I was kind of in a mad scramble for that. Hope y'all doing all right, man. This has been a pretty, I don't want to say bad, but it's been a week. It's been a week. I will say that. Won't go into details too much, but there's a lot of things going through my mind, and that's kind of why I'm here also, to just kind of get my mind off of things and to kind of talk. This is kind of therapeutic for me, and I know it'll be therapeutic for other people as well who are listening to this. So make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're watching the video version of this is going to be on YouTube, of course, and if you are listening, please share this to your story. Share this to someone you think would enjoy this type of podcast. We talk self-improvement, mental health, relationships, things like that. And that's how we're going to grow on this channel, man, so I can come out with more bangers like this. But enough of me talking. Today, the main subject of this podcast episode today is that we're going to point in the direction of relationship talk today, and we're going to talk about mainly why. Here's a quick rundown, actually. 1, why men and women really don't understand each other. We're going to talk about why that is and how that can be solved and what even caused it in the first place. And after that, we're going to touch on the most important things in a relationship. The most important thing in a relationship. I put on my Instagram story a question to where people can answer, what's the most important thing in a relationship? And I got a lot of responses. I will dive deeper into that, and I'll give y'all my take on the things I think make a relationship. And then I will talk about why relationships fail in 2022 in this modern day and age. And then I'll do a outro, just kind of recapping everything and getting anything else in there that I might want to talk about. So let's get into it, man. So in 2022, the relationship dating game is so weird to me right now, and that's for many reasons. The main reason for me is that men and women cannot see eye to eye on a lot of things, and it's gotten to the point where it's very toxic and it's very condescending from each side. Each side has their own faults. Each side has places they need to improve on. Each side needs to develop a level of understanding to the other, to the opposite sex, to the point where they can see where they're coming from, not necessarily agree, but kind of come to a conclusion of some sort, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, and that's it. No, it's got to be deeper to that, and that's where everything breaks apart. Men don't want to put their pride to the side in certain instances, and then women don't want to put their pride to the side in their respective instances either. So it's like we're always clashing heads, and you see it on social media all the time. Men are telling women what to do, women are telling men what to do, and it's just very toxic. I'm here to get perspective on both sides. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. Who am I to tell anybody anything about a relationship? Like, come on now. Like, it's me. Like, I'm not that guy. But what I can say is there can be a level of understanding, a level of at least hearing the other side out of where they're coming from. And if we can at least develop that and develop basic respect for one another, I think it'll go a long way. And I know that sounds very basic, but it's very true. The respect level is not there for for each side, men and women, and that is what's causing a huge issue nowadays. And social media plays a big part in that, in the fact that social media tells you, oh, how a relationship should be, how this should happen, what you should do in this situation. When in reality, everyone has their own situations that they're in, and they need to find out within themselves, like, what's going to work for them, what's going to work for their partner, what's going to work for both of them so it can be beneficial for them. But people are just on there saying all this stuff that works for only one specific instance. It's not all one size fits all. Every situation is unique. There's nuances to everything, and I think people don't understand. Let's get into it. I posted on my story, like I said, I asked the people, what's the most important thing in a relationship? And here's the breakdown that I got from these people. I had 19 total responses, which I need more, y'all. I need more. I need to do this breakdown, these numbers. I need to crunch them up. So y'all need to throw me more numbers out there than just 19. I know y'all seeing my stories. I know y'all are following me. Show some engagement, show some love, man. But out of the 19 responses, here's what I got. And some people put multiple things. So this is the list of how many times I've seen this word brought up. The highest number was communication, and obviously that's kind of what I expected. Communication was going to be the number one thing in a relationship that a lot of people think is very important. That was number 7, the highest mentioned thing on my story. The next highest was trust, and that was with 6 people mentioning trust as their biggest factor in a relationship. And then we have a lot of other factors that play into it. We have two instances of people saying understanding each other's perspectives and how they view things. That one I really love a lot. It's kind of unique, and it's kind of deeper than just communication or trust or respect or anything like that. It's more deep to it. It's more deeper, and I really like that a lot. 2 people said respect as well. That's obvious. 1 is submissiveness. Jeez, I cannot speak. And 1 person said religion. So, and I think that same person said submissiveness and religion in the same thing as well. So those are all really good points. Those are all really good things to put like as a high priority in a relationship. I was surprised that there was no one that said effort in there. And maybe that goes with understanding or respect, but I'm surprised no one said the word effort in there. And that, I mean, obviously this is not a right or wrong question. This is just like, hey, what do y'all think? And I didn't see effort in there, which was kind of surprising to see, but I think it's one of the main things in a relationship is effort. I will give y'all my top 3 biggest things in a relationship, and they all tie hand in hand. Y'all will appreciate this right here. I was going to break it down to 1, but it kind of opens the door for me to talk about 3 of these things. And the one thing that I said was the most important thing in a relationship was not only communication, but clarity within that communication. Because it's easy to talk, it's easy to say shit, it's easy to say things, but to be clear and concise with what you say, to be confident in what you say to that person, that speaks volume. It's something that a lot of people take for granted and don't really practice. People say, communication is key. Well, if you're having a dry ass conversation or a surface level conversation with your partner, then, or someone who is a potential partner, then what is it good for? With me, communication has been always the most important thing. And it's been something that I personally have struggled with in the past with relationship type deals. And it's one area in my life for me that I am making significant strides in. And that just comes from opening up more, and that comes from knowing yourself more too. People don't realize, like, the more you know about yourself, the more you would want to kind of open up to people. But if you're kind of unsure of yourself, or like unsure of how you think and what you feel, then you're not going to say as much. But when you know what you want, when you know you have that confidence, it's going to be easier to communicate. And I figured that out the hard way in life. Don't be like me, y'all. Definitely do not be like me. During those trials and tribulations of me developing my communication skills, I figured out that there's a lack of clarity in the things I was saying. And even me receiving information from women, they would communicate to me, but it wouldn't be clear. It wouldn't be like concise. It wouldn't be straight up. It'd be like maybe beat around the bush here and there. And I fall victim to that as well, just beat around the bush and to not really tell the whole thing, but to be communicative with clarity, so that the other person can get a deep understanding of what you think, how you feel. That will go a long way, and I promise y'all, it makes everything so much easier. Y'all would be on the same page. But with a lack of clarity, you can still be on different pages with the other person. You can still be out of sync with that person. Why aren't people clear with what they say and what they do? I did mention it's like it comes from knowing yourself, but it also comes from people not being able to be vulnerable. Am I right or wrong? I know this because I have experienced it. And I'm still dealing with it now. It's very difficult for me to deal with this right now. But like I said, it's a work in progress. We're improving. We're getting better at it. We're learning. But that comes from not being vulnerable with your feelings, with your emotions. Now, as a man, it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to show your emotions. It's hard to show feeling. It's hard to tell people how you really feel and describe it, right, in deep detail. Because society has made it to where it's like, oh, you got to be a man and you got to be tough and you got to stop crying, stop complaining, stop all this. And it toughens you up, yeah. But at the same time, as time goes on, that perception, it just keeps building. The perception from other people is what like is subconscious in our minds. It's like, oh, they're gonna think I'm a bitch for showing my feelings, showing my emotions. When in reality, you're really not. You're being a human at the end of the day. Like, we're all humans. Like, we have feelings, we have emotions. We all have feelings, we all have emotions. We all feel some type of way when shit happens. And we should be able to communicate that without having to feel like we're less than, or we're soft, or we're weak. We shouldn't have to be emotionally unavailable. We should be able to express our feelings and our emotions and things like that. It comes back to being vulnerable. Men nowadays aren't willing to be vulnerable. And I feel like with women too, but for a different reason, because this is so deep because there's so many layers to this. I love it. I feel like women are more vulnerable because of past experiences, past relationships, past things not going right, the traumas, right, that they've had in the past. Now they're scared to trust someone again. They're scared to trust this next guy. When in reality, it's like, this is a whole new experience that you're in. This is a whole new person you're talking to. This is not what happened 6 months ago. This is not what happened a year ago. This is different. And it's not fair to the new person that you're talking to if you're being overly guarded and overly protective of your own self and your own energy. Now, I get not opening up at first because you're trying to see someone's true intentions. I get that. That's completely fine. I do the same thing. But at the end of the day, you can't bring your past to the present right now, because that's not fair to that person you're talking to. That's not fair to that person you're seeing. That's not fair to that person you're trying to get to know, because they didn't know your situation, and they could be the most genuine person you've ever came across right in front of you, but you think it's fake. You think it's unauthentic, which it could be, but you don't know. It comes back to trust at the end of the day. Can you trust this person with your feelings? Can you trust this person with your emotions? Can you trust this person with how you feel? That's a deeper level of love. Like, people don't understand that. It's like, it's so much deeper than surface level shit that we see nowadays. Like that. Like, the shit I'm talking about right now is so much deeper than that. And that's how I feel like longevity is built. Because the materialistic shit, you're gonna get tired of it. You're gonna get bored of it. It's gonna get old at some point. But having that trust, that belief, that deep confidence in that person, there's like nothing like that. That shit is different, bro. And I've briefly experienced that in my lifetime. I almost said career. I don't know why. I've briefly experienced that in my lifetime, and it's a feeling that I wouldn't like trade for anything, bro. That's a fucking amazing feeling, and I feel like relationships nowadays don't get to that point. I feel like that's what's missing a lot in today's society, today's day and age. It's all about sneaky links and hookups and all these other things. And have I dabbled into that thing? Of course, we all have. We all have. Okay. But that's not the point. The point is there's deeper meaning to it, there's deeper levels to it. And if you're looking for that, you can't be doing this other shit that's not really going to serve a purpose for what you're trying to do. That's all I'm trying to say with that. So, to clear it all up, the most important things in a relationship for me is clarity, vulnerability, and trust. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know. I'll stop right there to give y'all a little break. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you're watching this right now. Share this video on YouTube. But without further ado, we're going to get back to this video. I want to talk about me a little bit. Talk about myself. Because I really don't talk about myself and my personal life too much, because like most people, I want to keep that stuff I want to keep that type of stuff in house and within me. And it's hard. Like I mentioned, clarity, vulnerability, and trust. It's hard for me to have those things. That's why I feel like it's the most important thing. I feel like those are the things like I'm missing, to where like if I get that shit figured out, like I'll be straight. So we're gonna talk about me a little bit and how everything's going in my dating life, if it exists. You talk to people here and there, and a lot of the times for me, I just feel like, I don't want to play victim here, but it's like a lot of times I feel like I don't even get the chance, like a real genuine opportunity to be in someone's life. It's like that. But then at the same time, it's like, damn, I fucked it up. And it's just certain situations to where I feel either one of those ways. And honestly, in most instances, I feel like, damn, like, did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Like, did I do something? Am I not good enough? If am I not that guy? If it's it's just should I have to drastically improve on? And I do a lot of self eval within myself, and I'm like, obviously, there's things I need to work on. I just told y'all the things I need to work on, and I'm working on those things, and it's like, it's still the same results. Let me tell y'all my goal. I guess my goal is not to. My goal it's not necessary to be in a relationship. That's not a goal that I have right now. Like, and I feel like, how should I go about this? I'll start it from here. So with how things have been going, especially this year, really, I'm getting a sign from the Most High that I should just focus on myself. You know, we always hear that, right? Focus on yourself. But no, seriously, this time, I get the feeling that I should just focus on myself, finish school, get a job, and get my money up and go from there. I feel like I've been told that for the last couple years in my head. And how it was earlier this year, yeah, a little bit this year, but mostly last year and the year before, how I was feeling towards those type of sentiments was like, damn, I want a relationship. Why can't I be in one? I see all these other people in one. Why can't I be in one? Like, am I not good enough? Like, I think I'm improving myself to the point where I can be good enough for that type of thing. But I realized that, like, one, you're going to be unlucky sometimes with this shit. And you're going to meet someone and, like, the timing is not going to be there. Like, it could be that person, you know? It could be that person that could do it for you. But the timing is not there for one way or another. Like, so busy, the timelines just don't meet up, right? And it doesn't work out. That shit sucks. Been through that. But my mindset was like, yeah, like, why can't I be in a relationship? Why can't I do this? Like, do I not look good? Do I not provide anything of value? Do I not provide emotional support or anything like that? Like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, I used to always be like, why not? Why not me? Why? This year I've really matured and I'm kind of like take a step back and I'm like, I'm just letting everything come to me. If you want to be in my life, cool. If you don't, cool. Now it's like, I want you in my life, but if you don't want to be in my life, then I'm letting you go. I'm not forcing you to stay. I'm not holding on for dear life, begging for you to stay. I'm not like that. I'm not that type of person to be dependent on someone, no matter how much I would want to be with them or how much I love them, things like that. I let things come and go now. And my mindset has really matured to the point where it's like, okay, I'm cool with not being in a relationship. Like, you have to find the positives that come from the quote unquote negative, if you want to look at it that way. You know, not being in a relationship, yeah, it can be seen as negative, but you can take the positives away from it. Be like, okay, like, I have more money to spend on myself instead of someone else. I have more time to work on myself and get better, and to work on my career, or like work on school, or like work my job. You know, don't buy the hype. Your time is coming. Like I know my time is coming for everything. Like, my time's coming. I just have to trust the process that is being dealt with to me. And I'm really starting to, and I'm really proud of myself for this. I'm really starting to buy in to this process. And I know it's going to be tough. There's going to be days where I'm like, damn, like, I'm ready. But the Most High is telling me, like, no, you're not ready yet. Not yet, not yet, not yet. And I have to be more patient with it. And I have. This year, I really have been patient in every aspect, because I know my time's coming. As long as I'm putting in the work, as long as I'm doing what I need to be doing, as long as I'm on my shit, working on myself, everything's going to fall into my lap soon. I know it. Y'all can see it in my eyes right now if y'all watching this. And then when that time comes, I don't want no one to tell me nothing at that point, because, like, all the shit I've been through to get to that point is going to be crazy. And I'm going to be rewarded with something at the end. And that's the motivation for me to keep on going, because I know there's something at the end of the tunnel. I know there's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So that's kind of how I've been kind of dealing with not being in a relationship. Yeah, it sucks. It makes it seem like you're not good enough. That's human nature. But at the end of the day, it's like, your time is going to come. That's like, there's no need to force it. Like, bro, I'm 22 years young, bro. I can do whatever I want. Like, anything that's out for me to get, I can get it. I just have to work on it and get it. And now that I look back on it, it's like, would I even be ready for a relationship, in terms of, like, would I even be able to provide the shit I want to be able to provide for this person? Yeah, the mental stuff, the emotional support, that's going to be there. The physical support, that's going to be there. I'm talking like financial, I'm talking spiritual, I'm talking like business, like next level shit that like takes shit to the next level. Do I even have that in place yet? Answer is no. If I don't have those things to provide, like, then I'm not ready right now. Now, let's say I've come across a girl that I really like. I don't have a type, but like, that I really like. Got these qualities I'm really looking for. All the qualities, check off the list. Check, 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 check. There for me emotionally, mentally, good for me. Ones that I know are good for me and not ones that like look good to me. And it's like, damn, like, okay, things are working out. Would I deny it if the relationship was on the table right there? No, I wouldn't. But the fact that shit hasn't worked out for one way or another in so many instances, especially this year, 3, 4, 5 different instances, it hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out for one reason or another, whether it's my fault or not. That's a sign that I need to relax and just focus on me and let anything that comes my way come my way. Let anything leave. Let's end this thing off, man. Let's end this thing off on a strong positive note. Well, I wouldn't say that was negative what I was just talking about, but I'm just saying. Let's kind of end this on a positive note. You know what? I'll end it off with this. I think before even getting in a relationship, and I feel like this affects me slightly, but it affects people more than it's affecting me, and I want to talk about it. I think it's imperative that people, and I saw a post like this yesterday, and it's so crazy because like I had this in my script of the episode, and then I saw it in a post on Instagram that someone posted, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's my sign to talk about it. And it's that, yeah, all your trauma might not be cleared and gone and solved and figured out, but at least you have to be heading in the right direction of clearing that trauma, of getting over that trauma before even thinking about getting in a relationship type thing. Because it goes back to the thing I was saying with not trusting that new person. You have to be able to trust that new person. It's not fair to them to not give them your trust. Now, they have to earn it in a sense, but to not give it to them at all, it's not fair to them. You don't want to bring your preconceived notions from past relationships into this new relationship. You don't want to bring your past traumas into the new relationship, into this person who doesn't even know about it, who don't even know about it. And you're throwing all this bullshit in their face, and they have to deal with the bullshit of you not being healed yet, and it's a burden on them to have to uplift you from that. And you're starting in a deep hole, and you have to dig your way up to back to ground level before even going up and building. Another thing, loving yourself before you head into that space. Because I've made so many videos on this. If you do not love yourself, who the hell is going to love you? No one can love you more than the way that you can love yourself. And you can't expect someone else to give you love and all this affection if you ain't got it for yourself. Why would they love you? Why should they? If you don't love yourself, that's a whole piece of you missing. Whether it's you don't know yourself, or you hate yourself, or this or that, you can't seek that in another person if it's not already within you. Because how can you give love to that true love to them if you don't love yourself? You only have that for yourself, but you're trying to give it to other people, and you putting all the pressure on them to get you out of that hole and help build with you after that. I feel like that's another reason why relationships go bad too. Like, people love the idea of a relationship, but when it's actually time to get in one, when it's actually time to provide the value that a relationship requires and constitutes for, they can't provide that. They don't know how to provide that. They don't know what it is that takes. They don't know what it takes to really be in one. Aside from, oh, I love you, babe, or oh, you're so beautiful, babe, or oh, I bought you flowers, or oh, this, or oh, that. Let's go on dates and let's do this, let's do that. That's all they got. There's nothing deeper to it. You want to be able to bring value to others. That's the moral of that point I wanted to make. So, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about for today, man. I could have talked about more things, but I'm on a time crunch. Plus, I think this was a really good episode, so I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. If y'all new here, please show me some love. Share this content right now. If you're listening to it, like and share this video. Subscribe as well while you're at it. If you're watching it, like and share, subscribe, while you're at it. So show me some love. We're gonna be going up now. If y'all have any topics y'all want me to touch on, please comment them down below, and I can really go into a deeper dive on them and kind of talk about it more in detail. So y'all let me know, and I have a list of my own ideas that I have as well. But it's always good to hear from other people what they want, the fans what they want. So that being said, man, I'm wrapping this episode up. Y'all let me know the most important thing in a relationship. Y'all let me know why relationships fail in 2022. That's pretty much all I got, man. But, I'm going to end this off how I always end things off. Be different. Be a wonderful one. I'm out. Peace.